All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and today I have a special co-host, my girl, Miss Keisha Core, joining us. Hi, honey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? You look so
I'm
cute.
doing fine. You look amazing.
You have to tell me, do you have like a whole collection of really fly glasses somewhere? Because if I ever go to your house, I'm robbing you blind.
You know what? Everybody always asks me that, and I do. Like, people shop for shoes, I shop for glasses, and they're all prescription. I have about 10 pair.
Wow.
I mean, because you got to be able to switch it up with the outfits.
Everybody has their thing, and you're right. Because all of your glasses always go with a different outfit, and it looks fantastic. I love it.
Thank you. So, listen, there's a lot going on. There was a lot going on. It's Oscars week. Yes. We've seen so much happening, but most importantly, Mama Shakur, your babies are turning 1.
Can you believe it's been a year? Because I remember announcing I was pregnant. I cannot believe how quickly a year has gone by watching these tiny little gremlins grow up into who they are right now. Like, they're so cute, and they're walking and they're exploring new foods, and it's crazy to me. I love it.
So, like, what's been like, are there just like moments, because you have twins, I have one, right? And he just turned 6. And so those years fly by, honey. I'm telling you, cherish the moments, fly by. But your babies are 1, and you have twins, a boy and a girl, which is amazing. So, like, what is, like, Noah's thing, Layla's thing, like, do they have their own little quirky thingies about them?
They do. So Noah's thing, and you have a boy, so when he was a baby, you probably know this, but now that he's discovered that he has a winky, every time his diaper is off, he's like trying to swipe it and pull it off. I'm like, can you stop? You're really freaking me out. Don't do that. And Leela's new thing is basically she's just becoming more and more attached to us as her parents. Like, Noah's not that much like that, but she's becoming more and more attached and learning what she likes and doesn't like and who she likes and doesn't like. So it's definitely interesting, but the winky thing is just really freaking me out.
Oh, listen, let me tell you, when Anna was a baby, I asked his pediatrician, I said, listen, he is really going in. She was like, he can't, she's like, he can't pull it off. It's okay. I was like, okay. It was still freaking me out a little bit, but I was like, it's all good. But listen, we have I'm so excited about the babies turning 1. It's going to fly by. Before you know it, they're going to be in kindergarten. You're like, what happened?
Wait, I have one quick question before we get into everything for the show. What did you do for Honor's first birthday? Did you go all out, or you just keep it simple and family?
I definitely went all out.
We're not. So I'm trying to ask other moms.
Well, let me say this. I won't say all out. It was family and friends, but it was like 50 of them. Okay, maybe 30.
You're still at a too high of a number. So let's move on. Let's get this show started before I'm like.
And we definitely had a house full. But listen, you guys, we have so much to talk about in this week's Mocha in the Morning. But first, a little cafe. Mine is iced. All right, Mocha Marvels. Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. It is time for steamers. And in the absence of my Capricorn Leche official Jorge, I will bring you the steamers along with my co-host, Miss Kia Shakur. So we'll have a few things that we'll talk about, starting with 2022's iHeartRadio Awards. Listen, there were some big moments at the awards, but most importantly were the Trailblazer Awards with Megan Thee Stallion, who basically said, listen, thank you for all these accolades. I'm going to continue to show up and stand up for the injustices for Black women, for Black men. And I appreciate her taking, that time and moment to share that, right?
And she should, especially with all the drama she's been going on with her former label. So the fact that she's just like, we can fight in the background, but when I'm getting an award or being honored or somebody wants me to perform, you're not going to keep me from being here. You're not going to keep me from sharing my voice. And that's great.
Absolutely. And then Miss Jennifer Lopez, honey, the Icon Award. And she says she's just getting started. Her boo was in the audience, standing up, giving all the claps and praises. So one time for Miss Jennifer Lopez, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
One time.
Listen, if y'all know Kia Shakur and y'all know her on the Piping Hot segment, trust and know that she has lots to say, but she's not.
What I will say about Jennifer Lopez is that I have never seen a woman take this much talent and make it into this much of a career. And
isn't that a talent though?
It is.
That is a talent.
She's dancing, and it's also the 25th anniversary of the Selena movie.
But you know what? She's an entertainer.
She is.
And entertainers don't necessarily have to be talented.
Look at Sierra.
You know what?
Okay, I'm about to get in trouble. I'm so sorry. I'm at Steamers. This is the happy part, but it is really cute to see her and Ben Affleck together. I like her and Ben Affleck together. I didn't before, now they're back together. I'm like, this feels right.
Listen, it's a boomerang type of love. They're back together. I am not mad at it at all. All right, in other happy Black news and entertainment. Listen, Essence, Black women in Hollywood. This is an event that I want to go to at some point in my life.
I do too.
I really do, but it's hard to get in that room. Nia Long, Quinta Brunson, Ingenue Ellis, and Shantae Adams are going to be honored or were honored this week at the Black Black Women in Hollywood event. You know, they do it every, year around Oscars, right before Oscars week. And I just love the selection of ladies that they have this week. Shantae Adams is actually one of my friend's sister. And so I've watched her just from them, just posting her stuff, even when she got started. And Quinta, I mean, like, what a story, right?
Yeah, Quinta Brunson's story. I mean, I don't know how many of our viewers watch Abbott Elementary, but the show is hilarious. We at Mocha in the morning, we watch it. It's so funny. And also Ingenue, I always say her name right, Ingenue Ellis. I am glad that woman is getting the flowers she deserves. Yes. I think she's been in Hollywood for a while. She's done some really great films, but you don't really see her at the award shows that often.
Exactly.
But she's doing all these great movies. I mean, she's the one person who made Maddie Mae Moss Clark come to life on the Black Sisters movie.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Yes, honey. She sure did. She absolutely did. So yeah, I'm glad to see that they're honoring those ladies. And of course, Nia Long has been around forever. So I'm glad to see that they're getting their flowers now. And have you seen the Irish dancer, the Black girl, Imani Johnson, who is like taking the world by storm with her Irish dancing?
You're saying Irish dancing. Do you mean river dancing?
River dancing.
Okay, because it says I said Irish dancing. Like, is that a thing? Is like a new TikTok thread that I don't know about? But yeah, she's a river dancer. Yes, I have seen her. I actually saw her. It might have been in a promo for like the show they have touring, I think. But I think it's fantastic. There are Black people who are Irish, and if you're American and you know how to do it, go perform it. I think it's great.
Absolutely.
It's also very hard to dance like that. My legs could never. My kneecaps could never.
Hello? Like, like that trend, like, no ma'am. Okay, let's talk about these couple goals, this Black love. So Samuel Jackson and LaTanya Richardson, his wife of 41 years, are on the cover of People magazine this week. And they're talking about like how they have been able to stay together. And they basically said they made a pact to stay together. And I mean, at the end of the day, we all make a pact, right? That we're going to stay together and be married. But it's the staying power and being able to, it's the staying power and being able to really see your person through it all, good, bad, ugly, and so I am inspired by that, by 41 years of love. I
am inspired too. I mean, and also look at Pauletta and Denzel. That's his real name, by the way. It's Denzel. Pauletta and Denzel, I think they've been married for 35 years, but I think it's great that these couples don't let Hollywood get into their relationship, because we've seen so many couples let Hollywood get into the relationship and just create division that just shouldn't happen. So it's beautiful that they've been able to make it this long, and she has been there. Well, you think he Samuel has not had such a storied career as Denzel.
Yeah.
So she has been with him through every crappy movie, Snakes on a Plane. I'm gonna do this film, that film. She has been there saying, baby, we gonna get through this. We gonna keep acting, and it's gonna keep it moving. That's right. Love.
That's right. But Samuel, is one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, after the Avengers. I'm sorry, I made that face. I had to think about it. But when you think about his Avengers check, he's been in every Marvel movie recently and all the Avengers films. So, he's worked hard, and, definitely want to give him his flowers and their relationship their flowers.
Absolutely. And another couple too, LL Cool J and his wife have been together since what?
High school. Freshman year of high school. She also has a jewelry line that's in Walmart.
She does. Yep.
I was in there looking for some Pioneer Woman pots and turned around, and there was her on an end cap. Look at that.
Yes, we are celebrating Black love here on Mocha in the Morning, and so excited about it. But guess what? We are moving forward, and we have a lot more to come for you with our.
Wait a minute.
What?
We're not talking about the interracial Black love of beautiful dark-skinned Jodie Turner-Smith and old boy Joshua Jackson.
This is why I have a co-host, because my brain is already skipping to the next. Yes. Okay. So Jodie Turner-Smith and Joshua Jackson, who are married, honey, they have been like shutting the internet down because homegirl was on the balcony just naked. And
honestly, their relationship has caught a lot of people off guard, because he's kind of a well-known actor. He's been well-known. Jodie Turner-Smith is coming up in the acting world. I think she was a model previously. And this is going to sound so bizarre, but I think what catches people off guard is that he's pale white and she's that beautiful, deep colored, dark-skinned Black woman. So when you see them together, it really looks like an Oreo. It looks like you took 2 parts of an Oreo cookie and slammed it together, but they are so happy. And Joshua Jackson looks hot now. He didn't before, he does now. Is it just me?
And he loves all of that chocolate, honey. I mean, he loves it all. Okay.
And they have a baby. They have a little girl. He actually gave her props, saying how it made him feel so happy that while she was on the set of that horrible Anne Boleyn crap, she was also breastfeeding their child, like breastfeeding, handing the baby off, and then getting on set. That's crazy.
It's the power of the woman. It's what we do. And listen, she's no different. So congratulations to them. Relationship goals for sure. Listen, we'll be back with more Mocha in the Morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Piping Hot.
Hi, Mocha Marvels. I know you guys are enjoying the Mocha in the Morning show, but do not forget the Val Trenda show is up soon. And we're wrapping up our season. But don't forget to join us at noon right here on the Mocha Media Network.
All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and it is time for Piping Hot. I'm so excited to have my sisters with me. You know I can't do it without them. Let me get them introduced. Miss back from Africa, Miss Kenya Woodard.
Happy Saturday. And yes, I'm back from the motherland, y'all. It was awesome. It was amazing, but I had to come back to be with y'all. So here I am.
She didn't want to come back though.
She didn't want to come back.
Miss Kia Shakur.
Hi guys, I was already here. Happy Saturday, and let's get it started.
Yes, Miss Liz Everett.
Happy Saturday, everybody. It's time to slay.
Yes. And we have guest contributor, Miss Keandra Ward, who is an author, international speaker, and marketing consultant. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I caught on. I got it.
All right. Hey. All right, ladies, let's jump right into our piping hot topics. There's so much for us to cover. Listen, we know, as Black women, our hair, okay, as Black people, our hair can sometimes, we have, take very, very, very prideful, it's one of those things that we take care of and we express our personality. And, we have so much that we do with our hair, but everybody is not appreciative of it. And we've been punished for it throughout time, correct? But now we have the Crown Act that is being pushed so that there is no discrimination against Black hairstyles. And it's amazing that it's 2022 and we still have to fight for our right to wear our hair the way we want it. It's our hair. Listen, Kenya, who just got her hair braided by the sisters in the motherland. Okay. What is why is it, what's the problem and what's taking so long? Why isn't this just going ahead and getting it done?
Well, why does it have to exist at all to begin with, right? I mean, the hair that grows from the root out of your head, we have to have legislation to make that okay. It's so weird to me. But let me state, I am glad to see that this is being, codified, put forth and as a law, because women, Black women, specifically, have been discriminated against in employment, other areas, housing, whatever, just because of the hair that we have on our heads. And so what this law does, it makes it illegal to do such. It pretty much says the hair that grows out of your head is natural and should not be held against you, when you're going for a job or any other situation. It's a federal law. So anything that falls under that, if it's, a federal entity or what have you, or something that, has to be followed by alongside federal guidelines, they can't discriminate against you because your hair is in locks, curls, braids, whatever, bald, whatever. Right. Yeah.
Really quick to add on to this really fast is that I don't know if you guys remember the wrestler, the high school wrestler boy who got pulled off the mat and they cut his hair off. This would make it illegal for them to be like, well, you can't wrestle unless you cut your hair off. They will no longer be able even to have that conversation. Or how, football players are always saying, oh, make those football players take those dreads out. They look so awful, even though those kids are straight A students. It just looks unprofessional. So it's not just about women in the workplace. It's about looking at hair not as a detriment.
Absolutely.
Right. I'll comment too. I was in a job where we were hiring people. And a lady, she was absolutely amazing, but her hair was eccentric. And they said, oh, she's great, but she's eccentric. And I said, hold on. What are we saying here? That she, her resume blew everybody else out of the water. But for that simple fact, they were going to move over her. So what Keandra did was she went and made sure that her hair looked just as eccentric when she got back to work the next day. Because if we're going to do this is how we're going to do it.
That's right. That's right.
No.
Please fire me.
Yes, please. Please do.
Well, and I think that the Crown Act partnering with Dove was a great move as well. Yeah. And, good on Dove for backing up the Crown Act and backing up the mission, honestly, of continuing to represent everything from body positivity to inclusivity, even with hair. Yeah. I do think that had a lot to do with helping the Crown Act as a movement gain a lot of visibility as well.
Yeah. And speaking of, hair and all that stuff, listen, if Ketanji Brown Jackson, when she gets this, listen, our new justice, Ketanji Brown.
There you go.
Represents just that with her locks, and her, being who she is, right? It's her natural hair. It's in locks. It's going to be the most cultured look they'll ever probably see on the justice on the bench. But I'm proud that she is standing in who she is throughout this whole process. And speaking of her, obviously we are We've gone through the hearings this week, taking her through the ringer, right? And I mean, just digging for something. But what is, there's nothing there for them to get. So Liz, like, they're just being their typical colonizer selves, right?
Yes. Now, one thing that I found very interesting that I would not have even known about, right, if it wasn't for this, was that basically a lot of Republicans as well are making it what they call, hold on, let me read my notes now, an originalist, which is that you believe the Constitution through the original framework and the original mindset of the frame workers versus what they would call progressives being more of a living constitutionalist. Yes. So, I mean, I think a lot of what they're trying to do and trying to get down to are the brass tacks of, do you believe the Constitution through the original framework of slave owners, or do you believe the Constitution through a living, evolving thing, which is more progressive? And some may say, is very liberal. So I get it. I hear them. I also understand that we are pre the next, precedent settings, and that some of them are also trying to be able to say, well, I said this when it came to the Ketanji Brown, hearings, and I said that our belief systems were this and not that. People are just positioning themselves for the next cycle of elections, really. That's why they're even talking.
Well, Liz, and I think Kenya can speak to this too. A lot of their attacks, though, are just bizarre. Like Ted Cruz asking her, do you believe in killing babies? Like, how is she supposed to answer that? That's going to make it work for you? Or Marsha Blackburn saying, is this like a hidden agenda to give critical race?
These are just, they're sound bites. Honestly, these are sound bites that folks want surrounding, whatever their platform is going to be. They just need, they need these sound bites for their donation video or whatever.
How did she not fall out laughing? I would have laughed.
That was my question. Or flipping the table over, right? Right.
Listen.
When I think it was Marsha Blackburn that asked her the definition of a woman. Right, ma'am.
Yes. She asked her the definition of a woman. She asked her about, is this a hidden agenda for critical race theory? And somebody else asked a really stupid question as well. But the fact of the matter is, she is the most qualified Supreme Court justice that will ever sit in the court. She has been in every part of it. She's been a prosecutor, she's been a defender, she's been on the appellate court. She has been on this and that. And she was smiling really hard. That's to keep from cussing everybody out. That's the black woman. I'm going to smile really hard.
Listen, Keandra. But Keandra, did you see when her friend, her classmate had to like introduce her or like give a reference?
Yes. Listen, here's the thing. When you have a person that is coming alongside you and you're referencing them and you're giving them the kudos, nobody wants to hear the good stuff about people. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to hear it. And I mean, she came in and they did it. It's like, if this is my girl, and let me tell you who she is, and let me tell you what she does, and let me tell you what you're going to what's going to happen, and what you're going to see from her, and who she's going to be, and how she's going to stand. And I mean, a lot of times we don't want to hear that. We want to hear the grimy stuff. They don't want to hear the good stuff. And I think that it's important that in all that we give it all.
That's right. You gotta have the people in your corner that's gonna lay that thing down like a good old sermon.
And that's gonna tell the truth.
Introduction.
And did y'all see her husband crying when she did her introduction? Oh my goodness.
And her parents just smiling.
Her parents' story is really touching as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, we could talk about this forever. We gotta move on. Woo child, Kanye West. Listen, brother is so stupid. This man.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Listen. So first of all, this man, D.L. Hughley, who, obviously he's going to have his opinion of things, but between D.L. Hughley and Trevor Noah, he experienced some trauma with his own parents.
Yes.
After they were divorced, I think his dad like shot his mother.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so he is coming from a place of hurt and experience that these things can turn dangerous Kanye is treading some dangerous waters with this harassment that he is and okay, so his Grammys performance was canceled. He can still attend, but he cannot perform. Secondly, this man is about to try to file for full custody of all 4 of his kids. And I'm like, what judge in their right mind?
And you know what stunt he's going to pull when he gets denied? That Black men are not allowed to be fathers.
They have to be fathers to their children. Yeah.
He's about to just throw that out there when in reality, no. You have threatened people. You have decapitated somebody in a music video. You have caused all these other issues. And then you're saying you want to be a good father, but that didn't stop you from dating 2 hoes right, like back to back. Like, I'm sorry, like you're talking about Kim's parenting being so poor, but you dated 2 randos for short periods of time all over social media in front of your children. I mean, have we seen any really inappropriate pictures of Kim and Pete anywhere?
No.
Nope.
Have we seen inappropriate pictures of Kanye and that new girl and the recent new girl? Yes,
and
we have.
The other girl.
Mm-hmm. He is definitely not wrapped as tight as he needs to be. Okay. He is I think he feels like he's invincible, like nobody can do anything to him, but that's just not true. And this man told DL Hughley he was going to send his goons for him, and gave out this man's address, his home address.
Oh God! But see, Kanye's not ready for the old Negro brigade.
Listen,
Cedric the Entertainer. No, there's the Cedric the Entertainer.
Steve Harvey.
George Lopez. All of
Okay.
these old head guys in comedy, they all roll together and have been rolling together for years. They're not just gonna let you. Who is Kanye rolling up with?
Right.
Listen,
What little young SoundCloud rapper is he rolling up with to fight these old men? Nobody.
Maybe Pusha T. Maybe.
We're talking about Theophilus. What's his name? Theophilus.
Oh yeah.
Theophilus,
Theophilus, yeah.
I know who that fool was. Yeah.
I was like, wait, no. And I think also Trevor.
Is it a rapper?
I think so. I think
he coordinates with Kanye, like collabs with him on like certain music and stuff like that. But like, did any of you guys listen to the recording? Because they tried to make it like it was like so this and that, but it was more like Homeboy kept walking by DL's table at like Nobu or something, looking at him funny, you know what I mean? And then DL went to the bathroom and Homeboy was taking selfies in the mirror, and then he like kind of fluff pieced him. I think it was Charlemagne was like, okay, Theophilus or whatever his name is, you just made yourself look goofy. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like, not even like a thing, but like.
And see, that's not how all Negroes do that. They walk up to your table and go, get up, we going outside. Come on.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to handle grown folks' business. Exactly. We're going to act like grown folks.
And that's
but DL said it wasn't that bad. He was like, he just told me to squash it. And I was like, nah, Kanye need to squash it. And he walked off. The other dude was like, hey, I came up to him and his security came. We clearly know that's not what happened. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand why he feels like he's in a position to, avenge Kanye. Like, dude, who are you? And why are you getting so deep into the situation with Kanye?
Right.
Like,
Kanye,
what is it?
Is
I think that's how Kanye baits people. I think that he makes people feel like he needs to be protected. And I think that empowers folks around them, especially if they feel like they need to be needed or have mommy issues or daddy issues in any way. And I think that's how he's protected himself for a long time. And I also think that that's why Kim married him, because Kim felt like she could help him and protect him. We know lots of women who marry people because of that, and I really do believe that that's what it is. And I also think that that's why Trevor Noah said, hey, I said, what is it? I said, counsel him, not cancel him. Because he needs some real help, because a lot of times when you're really great at anything, you don't have a good sense of reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, honey, we pray for the safety of Kim and her parents, and we pray that Kanye get the help that he needs, honey, because it will be a shame for all that talent, because he is a talented person, to go to waste. It really would. Listen, So, all of us on this here phone call, on this here Zoom, on this here show would not be caught up in any spring break mess, but we must discuss. Spring break in Miami is off the chain. It is dangerous. It is no longer fun. At least it wouldn't be for us or me. 5 people got shot. Kia, what is going on in Miami?
Y'all Negroes need to chill out. Like, it's not even like we as Mocha in the morning, we try to come for our people and be like, oh, it's so much. Don't stereotype our people. Don't discriminate against us. Not now. We can't defend this, guys. And this happens year after year after the year. Y'all take y'all ignorant butts down there and start doing ignorant stuff. You're twerking in traffic. You're walking to people's restaurants, not paying bills. You're shooting on the beach. You're getting in multiple fights. You're trashing people's hotel rooms. And I know what people are saying. It's not just Black kids who go down there. It's the white kids too. No, it is now majority Black college kids and high schoolers who go down there. You couldn't pay me $1 million to go down to spring break. Like, it's just not fun. It just looks so trashy. Like, we all remember we were in college. We were trying to save up to go to Miami because it was like an elite thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And then we have to look at the fact that these kids now are not, they raised different.
Ooh.
They are raised different. Okay. Back when we were going, it was a totally different, like you said, we were saving up, we were having fun. I mean, you was cute, had the outfits on the beach, flirting. Now, like, who goes somewhere to shoot people? Like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you came here to do? Like, really?
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy.
And it's not locals. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the locals to do. It's not locals. Locals are not going down. Like, if you live over in Miami Gardens, you can shoot somebody in your own neighborhood. You need to
Right. We're not gonna go to South Beach, right?
shoot somebody. Even again, I have cousins who live down there. My family's down there. They stay far away from that area during spring break because it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. It is. It is. What? No, I blame that hip hop music. You know what, producer? Cut it out.
Our producer said she blames those thugs.
Those thugs. Bone Thugs and Harvey. Okay, listen. Speaking of rappers and hip hop, Pusha T. This is the weirdest, most random piece of news I've seen in a long time.
Right.
That I'm gonna need for Liz to help me out. So Pusha T
with the report
and Arby's came together to do a diss track on McDonald's.
Yes. And if
Team
you ask
Arby's,
me,
Team Arby's. Sorry.
if you ask
One
me, it's a
time for the
little
curly fries.
right.
Okay.
It's a little overdue because honestly, I learned that in the book, The Tanning of America, they originally dropped the McDonald's song, which was written by Pusha T early in his career. So he didn't do the proper licensing and things for him to get paid, right? For him to have like royalties over time and that kind of stuff. They dropped it initially as kind of like a backwards marketing scheme. He wrote an entire song, not just the ba da ba 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 part. He wrote an entire song that put I'm Loving It kind of out into the world with the music video, the whole thing via Justin Timberlake. So they do that like a month or two before they have all that stuff. They add a Neptune's track to it, the whole 9. And Justin Timberlake makes like $6 million off the deal, right? Pusha T does not make that money. So it's like a yikes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. And then you kind of really see how deep the marketing thing goes. So this diss track to me, because that's maybe 20 years ago, this diss track might be a little bit like overdue actually. And it just really is kind of like one of those things where we're kind of seeing like that organic brand and underlying message coming to the forefront. And yikes.
And,
Right.
and
Right.
it is yikes. And it's at a point now where you have to explain it, right? Because we're so used to hearing about it, 11. I had no idea Pusha T wrote that.
Right.
No idea.
Well, I think so often we don't know about the creatives and the contracts and, all of those things that go into it because no one really knows anything about that. You know what I mean? Like you really kind of have to become big in the game to get to a place where you even have the right contracts written.
Yeah.
You want an interesting fact? The theme song from Top Model, the weird breathy song that opens up the Top Model show, that was written by one of the girls from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Wow.
Really?
She wrote that, and apparently is still getting checks off that 5-second little jingle or whatever.
Yeah, let me get the right.
And she has royalties. That royalties thing is a huge thing, and it's something that you just don't know what all you should have ownership of, because I think as a creative, you're just so happy to have the job and to be able to be in the room and to be creating, because it just seems like your air and your breath and all you've ever wanted. And then at some point you go, oh my gosh, I should have been making a lot more money. My contracts aren't right. I didn't have the right legal advice. I didn't have the right business advice. And it really winds up messing up people's careers and sometimes their entire lives.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you know, we're rolling right into Megan Thee Stallion, okay, versus her contract with 1501 Certified. Like, she's in this messy contract, right? And it's another situation where, okay, she was young and probably didn't have the right team around her, right, Keandra?
Right.
As PR people and marketing folks, we understand, and most people do in business, you understand the importance of having that team, right?
Right.
Somebody who's going to look out for you. And oftentimes our young people just get screwed over so badly. And they spend so much time trying to clean up or trying to get out of it, right? And so it's important that, you know, I don't know, you know, what she has to do to get out of this or how long she has on the contract. I didn't read all that, but I really pray that she does get out of it so that she can put that behind her. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they're saying that she needs to do another record, that the record that she released did not have enough songs. And she said, no, I fulfill my obligation, and they're going through. But my thing is, are we not looking at history? Let's look at MC Hammer, TLC. Like, if you're coming into an industry, you're not doing any research. You just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sign this contract. That's crazy to me that we want the fame more than we want to make sure that we're going to be okay, or that these people have my best interest at heart. Because I can come in and tell you, baby, you are really cute and you can sing, girl, and I got you. Are we just gonna sign a contract? Like, is that what we're doing?
You know what?
Recognize that everybody don't need a record label. The owner of the record label is Carl Crawford, the baseball player. On what planet does he know of anything about running a record label? Music, anything? What? Why is he running a record label? Why?
Right. Because that was a childhood dream of his, to be in the music business, and he's like, oh, you know, this is how I'm gonna do it. And I mean, hell, he hit the ball out of the park with Megan.
But you know, it's really bad when Issa Rae, who is not a recording artist but is in entertainment, is pointing out how corrupt the recording industry is. Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrible when somebody who is literally on the outside and has only vague, you know, interactions with the industry and saying this is not right. Like, they are totally wrong over there when it comes to, you know, music and record deals and things like that. And I really feel terribly for Megan, because, you know, not only the whole getting caught up in, you know, becoming an artist and signing a contract without really thinking long term and things like that, but now the record company is saying, oh yeah, and by the way, any endorsement money you made, we want a piece of that too. So she really has a terrible contract. The record label being a-holes is one thing. The contract that she signed is just absolutely terrible if they're coming after a piece of her endorsement money.
And God don't like ugly. That's why Carl Crawford is stuck with Evelyn Lozada for the rest of his life.
And that defamation of character, they trying to defame her character too.
Oh my God. Oh my. Okay. So last piece of piping hot. It is Pride Week here, and speaking of, Disney is, you know, speaking out against an anti-LGBTQ law because their employees were staging walkouts all over the country. I hope that, they are genuine with their statements, right? And not just because they need people to work. Kia's like, yeah, right.
Because my whole thing is, I would take the Keandra route is, oh, y'all have an issue with gay people. As a man, I'm coming in here in stilettos and a really perfectly cropped gown with a high split and like full done drag makeup every day for the rest of the time that I work here. Like I'm bringing my boyfriend, my boyfriend's boyfriend, my cousin, they're dating this other girlfriend. They're going to have lunch at my cubicle every day. Like protest it rather than y'all walking out. So now you're unemployed. How does that help other gay people if y'all are just unemployed?
Yeah. And let's not forget how huge Gay Days is for Disney.
It's a lot of money for Gay Days. It's going to be empty days now because nobody's going to go to it if this is how they feel.
Well, I think that they are trying to get ahead of it by making these statements against the law. So, I mean, somebody's on the team doing right, telling them, hey,
it's a culture term for Disney for sure. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was Carl Icahn, who used to be a long-term CEO at Disney. And it took a long time for them to get to this point. Under his, tenure, all this kind of protest, you just didn't do that at Disney. Right? If you were on the employee side, you just stay in your lane and be grateful you have your crappy, low paying job. And, that was it. So I think this is definitely a significant turn in Disney culture where the top brass is actually, listening to people who fall under him and, willing to talk about these things. Because in the past, Disney just didn't even address it. Gay what? No, that's not an issue with Disney, right? But things are turning around. I will say, however, I am disappointed and this is not a Disney employee thing. I support, their efforts and things like that, the employees and what they did. But I'm just disappointed that it's 2022 and protest has become where every department took a turn for a walkout for an hour. I want to see everybody leave the premises or not come in for the whole day.
For the whole day.
That was their protest. They only walked out for an hour and then went back
to lunch.
Some
walked out for lunch.
They went lunch break.
Get out of here with that week behind protest. That's weak. That's weak. I'm sorry.
Give me some Selma, Alabama protesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a mass walk out, marching through the streets.
That would be like black folk. Like, I'm grabbing my purse, my keys, all my death decorations.
Everything gone.
I'm gone.
We know.
Yeah.
That's right, Kendra.
Right.
Exactly. That's right. Well, listen, ladies, it has been amazing to have you with me on Piping Hot. Thank you so much for taking the time out to grace the screen for our Mocha Marvels. You guys have a wonderful weekend. You ladies, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Listen, my Mocha Marvels, take a look at this week's Mocha Minute. Don't you go anywhere. Mocha Marvels, as always, we want you to send us your pictures and videos and all that from your job promotions, anniversaries, weddings, birthdays, all that good stuff that you want to share. We want to highlight it for our Mocha Moment segment. So make sure you hit us up via email or drop us a DM, and we'll be sure to share it with everyone else. All right, take a look at this week's Mocha Moment. All right, Mocha Marvels, it was amazing to spend this Saturday with you. We hope that you enjoyed this week's Mocha in the Morning on the Mocha Media Network. We're so excited to be here with you on Saturdays. And don't forget to stay right where you are. We have the Fab Lab coming up, as well as the Valtrinda Show following right behind for the Mocha Media Network. So make sure you check out those shows as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share the show, invite others to watch, send the link. We appreciate the support. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday and weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.